see if EDG go towards something like a Lucian here and play out through that style of like, hey, AD mid, you still have pressure against Ryze, you can still go for some of these trades, set up for this full AD top side, or if we're going to get something a bit differently. For EDG, they also haven't been averse to picking something like support here and then looking for counter picks, but ooh, we actually get to see Scout on the Yasuo coming through. Not something he's played so far yet.
I love how Scout is just like, look, Yone didn't work. Time to bring out the brother. The other wind bro. Yasuo comes on through. Let's see how that combo is going to work out for them. EDG banning away the Braum, though, trying to focus on supports. I mean, we've seen, like, look, this is early aggression. I like this from EDG. Change the style, right? Bring something new.
Yeah, but for EDG, I still don't expect to see much change in terms of like the bot lane picks they're going to go for, right? I wouldn't be surprised to see, oh, actually, I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised to see the Leona come through, but WE banned the Leona, so you're still thinking hard engage for bot lane, right? You're thinking maybe even things with knockups. We haven't really seen as much of like the Nautiluses and the Alistars come through. There's always things like the Rakan that are able to be picked up. There's always, you always could default back to something like a Rell, which we've been seeing have a higher priority here so far in our playoffs. But I think for EDG, blind picking AD still does make a bit more sense. The fact that they're the ones to take away the Ezreal does surprise me, when maybe you could just go for that yourselves and then have this like safe AD carry who can peel for himself while you have this giant trio jumping forward. Other things that are still open, right? We still do have the Varus. Kai'Sa would thematically fit your comp, but I absolutely hate the champion right now, and anytime I see it played, it gets destroyed as it should because it is atrocious.
Okay, well, random aggressive opinion on Kai'Sa there from Lyric is the Varus will be offered. And I think the most likely lock-in, right? We've seen Viper playing it a ton. It's been exceptionally strong or split. We even saw him play it in game number 1. This time around, though, with the rest of this composition, I'd anticipate it'll probably be lethality, but it's bait and switch. We are going to see the support locked in with a Rell.
So even though, again, you could go for a counter pick support, this is one of the ones we hit on, right? Just bringing out the Rell. It has a lot of the setup for your Yasuo combo. I feel like we've just seen so many crazy Rell plays. I remember I was able to catch the first game of last night's LCS playoff match, the Team Liquid one, where Core Jiejie had an insane performance on the Rell. So would be happy to see Meiko bring out one for himself. Now for WE, we get Tahm Kench. Not a massive fan of this one. It makes sense, right? Tahm Kench, you have the ultimate available to try to, you know, save your AD carry from the play coming out, but I feel like Tahm Kench support in lane just really doesn't do anything. You don't provide all too much, but hey, if you have an AD carry that is, oh, okay, I'm getting a bit baited.
You're getting baited. You're getting baited.
I thought the Ziggs was going to come out. I thought the Ziggs maybe made a bit of sense with how they wanted to play the game. And okay, I actually am going to be right with the first choice. You don't need too much protection when you are playing the Ziggs.
You've been completely baited out there. And now it's time to see what Viper is going to lock in. He always, or almost always, gets the counter pick for EDG, and this time we get to see a bit of spice. The Vayne comes out in the hands of one of the most talented AD carries in the entire world. I cannot wait to see what he can do against this Ziggs.
I'm just so surprised to see this come out, right? I mean, you have the all-in potential available, but ever getting in range to be able to deal anything to Ziggs feels like it will be quite rough. And for the side of EDG, this draft to me just looks complete feast or famine, right? This either like gets ahead, is able to win, and explodes the game, or doesn't do anything at all. You really have no wave clear. You do have a decent front line, but it feels like
He backs against the ropes here. And I want to remind everyone that WE, in the history of these two organizations, has never beaten EDG in playoffs. They have played against each other in playoffs 3 times in the past. In the summer semifinals of 2016, EDG beat WE 3-2. In the spring quarterfinals of 2015, EDG beat WE 3-2. In the 2014 spring semifinal, EDG 2-1'd WE. It has been a long history of EDG dominance, and WE are trying to change that fact today.
And already getting interesting picks, like you said, with Scout bringing out the Yasuo. This is a matchup I'm curious to see. For Yasuo, it is, I think, one of the more, like, you don't have many issues, right? Because if Shanks does look for the root, you're just able to throw up the wind wall after that, and it's hard for Ryze to put out any damage. It is a bit strange for Yasuo because playing in the wave can be a bit weird with the EQ combo able to come out from Ryze, where he gets to hit you and the minions for free. But I think especially as, you know, we get closer to the level 6 point, Scout will be in a fantastic position. And even at level 3, I think Scout has some options for some decent trades if Shanks does walk too far forward.
Yeah, and you know, in the bottom side, it's kind of a similar story, right? Where Viper, if he can close the gap, if he can ever get close to Elk, massive opportunities for an all-in, massive opportunities to take over the game. However, theoretically, there should never be a situation where Elk steps far enough forward for that to happen. I'm looking at the jungler's lyric, and we're seeing kind of opposite pathing here, where we've seen Beishang start on the bottom side. He's moved up to his top side. He's already in the opposite side of the map as Meiko goes for a bit of a trade. Won't find much on that one, and Viper can't find the third auto. Junja, bit of a slower clear here, going for absolutely everything, including the Croaks.
And for Junja, the thing I'm looking at, right, is that you have 3 lanes that want to be volatile. Flandre actually having some good trades. Breathe playing a bit too far forward. Shouldn't really let Flandre get off trades like this for free, right? You're looking to maintain distance, control range, and look for the trades with the boomerang. But for Junja, the thing I'm looking at is you have 3 volatile lanes that want to be scrappier, right? You have Yasuo who wants to look for those all-ins, put himself in harm's way.
Right.
Renekton is the same. He doesn't want the isolated 1v1.
What is Beishang up to right now? He's moving into the mid lane. Wind becomes lightning. Goes a little bit wide. Scout will be okay. Oh. Flandre is ganking the mid lane right here. He's going straight up to Beishang. Going towards Shanks instead. But he's in trouble himself. Low on HP. Shanks doesn't have any mana, so WE will not commit. But he's roamed halfway across the entire map to make sure Junja can grab that crab uncontested.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, a bit of a head scratcher from Flandre. I guess I can get what he's going for at first, maybe expecting the play in mid to be able to come out, maybe communication from Scout from the way Shanks is playing, but definitely big overcommit. No way Scout will be able to follow up. You do not have the damage to find the kill or even force a flash out from Shanks on your own. Gonna have to make his way up towards the top side. Doesn't seem like he'll lose out on anything, but we have an all-in bot.
Yeah, big knock-up on missing here. A lot of damage. Ignite ticking away. The Grey health is there to heal him up. He's alive. This time, they can't clear the wave quite as effectively. Last time around, we saw WE win that 2v2 and deny the dive. This time, missing low on HP. But the recall comes through from Junja. Doesn't look like EDG are willing to commit to that dive. That said, Elk is alone right now. If Meiko can find an engage, could be an opportunity, but Elk still has his flash, so should be okay. He's playing with fire, though. He is really playing with fire, stepping up like this.
Yeah, it seemed like, not necessarily a bait, right? But if you look at the minimap, Beishang was also on his way as well. So if EDG did overcommit, maybe Elk thinking, hey, we will be able to punish this one out in the bottom half of the map. As, hey, Beishang actually just going to do that regardless.
Meiko gets away.
Get away much.
The crash down used upwards to get them out to safety. So Drake is coming up here. And, you know, we've got a Diana on the side of EDG. I feel like our stats on first Drake and first Herald and things kind of get a bit wonky here, though, because we have a different jungler in for EDG, right? Inevitably, this style is going to change.
Especially with the way they drafted. We can already see that they want to play more towards the top half of the map, right? Ping's already coming out towards that top side. We're getting pretty close to Junja being level 6, so once Junja and Scout hit that point, we can start seeing the link up, seeing the combo of the ultimates come out. But for now, we're going to see this play made on top side. They do have level 5 on Flandre. They can look for the dive, but since Zhao's here...
Oh, TP being channeled as well. Beishang moves in, as does... I'm not even sure who the TP's from. It's from Elk. Here he comes. The Ziggs arrives at the top lane. And it looks like EDG decide against it in the end. I think Shanks managed to stop Scout's TP there.
Yep.
Oh, wait, actually, they're just going to chase for more.
To stop the TP.
EDG are in all kinds of trouble here. Flandre playing that weak side once more. This time he had friends, but it's not going to matter. The bomb comes in. The last auto from Breathe. And that's the first nail in the coffin here for EDG as WE find yet another window.
Yeah, WE still going to be the team taking charge. Going to give Viper and Meiko a bit of free time on this spot lane turret, so they will be able to deny some CS over to Elk. I don't think it means too much, right? For Elk, you're still going to be able to get your damage off later in the game via wave clear bot. As we did see, we knew Shanks was able to cancel the TP coming out from Scout. and then map defaults back to a bit of a normal state.
Yeah, so we can take a look at the replay here as Jiejie gets himself out to safety.
Yeah, Flandre, though, still going to be in harm's way. A lot of range coming out from Elk, and even Breathe just able to follow up. No flash available from Flandre, was just used, and he does go down in the end. Now, what we're looking at for EDG, ultimates are available. You are going to be able to start having plays come out. I would love to see Junja, you know, he's going to come onto the Rift, farm out those topside camps, pick up his red buff, make his way towards mid, look to get pressure as a two-man, and then start making their way potentially towards the topside river with Herald coming up in less than 1 minute.
So WE, the team with the advantage in the early game here, but it is minor. It's just that singular kill. Gold is almost dead even at this point. The Drake onto the map. Does feel like WE with Prio in this bottom side could potentially look to start that one up, but wouldn't surprise me too much if Beishang just continues farming his jungle away as well. But now, Ziggs has got a tier. He's got another mana crystal as well. This is the point at which his bot lane gets really hard for EDG, right? You're just going to get consistently poked underneath your tower. We're going to see Viper having to dodge everything, but forget bot lane because EDG... they want a bit of revenge for the kill that happened onto Flandre earlier this game. Gnar available for Breathe here. Does still have his flash. And we'll just... that was the hop with the ult transformation there. It looked like his flash for a second there. Beishang moves up as well. But again, EDG's play towards the top side just thwarted.
W doing a nice job and realizing it. Again, I don't know if it's like just programmed into Junja, but we called it, right, Munch? He comes in, it's just all about the top side. Whenever he's on the Rift, it's all about playing towards whoever his top laner was. Last year was people like Xiaosheng, right now being Flandre, and Breed just walking back, not allowing that to happen. I feel like for W, you could have potentially looked to set up to pull members of WE and try and set up some kind of Herald play. You have your ultimates available, but instead going to back off, and this is going to now open up to where WE have been able to get Prio top, and their start of the Herald is we apparently had... okay, we're seeing Ziggs bomb used, just chunking them out down in bot side. But I don't care about that much. We have a potential Herald contest coming our way.
We certainly do. Junja and Scout moving over. Remember that ult combo available if they want to use it. Shank stepping up as well here. Breathe has no ult. He's in mini Gnar right now. Eye available to proc alongside a smite that is going to be EDG. Grabbing themselves the Herald. Beishang looks like he still wants this fight, though. He's going to go in for this one. Flandre just going to stun him up. And it's going to be a knockback from the team. EDG just to clear it. I don't know what he expected on this one. Scout's in trouble, though. Forced to flash away. Shanks as well. Gets some good damage down. Junja falls. WE at least get one kill for their trouble. That felt a bit over-aggressive from WE.
Yeah, Munch, that definitely felt scuffed. I have no idea what was happening from WE's side. Hey, it looks like Breathe used his ult to keep Flandre out from the play. Did it way too early, though. Flandre's still able to just walk forward. And then for WE, they're forced off because they have mini Gnar. They don't have an ultimate available. EDG take the Herald. And like you said, I don't really know what Beishang was expecting when he went in with that one, but I'm guessing thinking, hey, Elk and Missing are on the way. We're going to buy time. We're going to wipe the fight, but... EDG able to take that one kill before it happens, as we are going to see here, as I explained everything a little bit too early. What is he doing? Goes in, Flandre pops the ultimate. We do see Junja able to go in. Really nice ultimates coming out across the board. They pick up the one kill, and then this is what we hit on, right? Missing and Elk are here first. You can see Meiko was falling a bit behind, but wasn't close enough to impact the play.
Yep, it was just jungler for jungler in the end, as Beishang, while he did pretty much just commit suicide, he also made sure that Junja was going to go down, right? No flash available, knocked him back with the Grand Challenge, so able to put him in harm's way and set up Shanks to get a kill here. So both solo laners for WE with a kill and a Realm Warp to the top side as well. Flandre! There's no way out of this one. I say that. Maybe there is. He flashes away. Oh, but he can't get out of it. The Essence Flux to finish it off. It was a good effort from Flandre there. Now the answer in the bottom side is EDG move over. They've got a Herald as well. It's all about Viper. Give that AD carry the gold. Get him some plates. Get him some items. And watch him roll.
Yeah, I feel like so far this series, Viper has been a bit of a spectator outside of his own body, just seeing everyone else on the map completely collapse and him not able to do anything. So hopefully this time around, Viper's homies do better by him, and we get to see Viper play some League of Legends today. But I mean, WE so far, I think, still doing incredibly well. The most surprising thing is they're playing around the windows where the enemy team has prio and has the ability to make plays so well, right? We saw Breathe dodging dives in topside. We see Elk and Missing playing well around them in bot, and it's not really giving EDG big opportunities to expand on their leads.
And we have to celebrate this for the side of EDG as well, where, like, sure, they are slightly behind here, but ultimately they are managed to get themselves the first Herald of the game. They managed to get themselves the first Drake of the game. At least they are playing the map a little bit better than they have across the course of the series. Certainly than game 2. Like even though they're behind slightly, if you just compare this to game number 2, this is a wild improvement on what we got to see from them so far this series. So feels good. And hey, maybe Junja's the answer.
I mean, at least getting a bit of a reset is definitely, you know, better than any alternative they could have had. So doing well so far, and by well we mean decent, right? They have first dragon, so they are in their EDG Drake stacking comfort zone, but not able to find much more. Both ultimates are available on Scout, Junja so far, and even Meiko in the equation, right? Definitely as EDG, you want to group up, you want to have these more close-knit brawly team fights. You have some short-range champions on the opposite side. The Ryze, the Zhao, Mini Gnar should be relatively easy for Meiko to lock them down and then set up for Junja and Scout to go in. So I like that right now we see on our minimap EDG playing as a 3-man around mid, and then they could head back towards bot and try and alleviate some pressure from Viper.
Oh, but there is going to be no pressure alleviated as they dive on in. WE want to shut down this AD carry. Still has his splash available, and WE have gone too deep. Magnet Storm in, but Elk is there with many bombs to deter the counter-engage from EDG. Meiko in trouble. Satchel charge against the wall. That was beautifully done by Elk. And now they go for the dive. This is the Shanks that I've wanted to see ever since he came into the LPL. Flashes aggressively to 1v1 Viper under his tower. Where has that been all year?
And WE using their tempo advantages, using their globals so well. TP advantage in top lane. Breathe able to make his way down for Shanks, utilizing a TP as well. Able to get there before Scout to find these kills. To where Viper probably felt safe because his jungle and support just roamed from bot to mid. Very easy for them to turn back around, but WE picking up the kills. We do see now EDG able to equalize some gold. Plates finally being off the board, but we're able to pick up some. As we see here, Viper looking to go for the Gromp, right? He knows that these members of W are down towards bot side, doesn't want to sit under turret, and we're gonna see the engage go in from Junja and Meiko. Still, though, no ultimate on Junja. Scout not here as well. You don't have the damage to take anyone down. The double TP that we hit on, and then Shanks going full man mode, flashing in, gets the E into the W, throws out the Q, and it is as good as over for Viper. Actually, it was over.
I was watching Scout on the minimap there to figure out what his game plan had been. And he was moving over. He sees the engage come through from Meiko. He's out of range to use his last breath. And it's like, well, the knockups are gone. I'm out of here. Just turns around, dips, goes to the mid lane. He knew the play was over. It feels like the call for EDG was to dip. And now it might be Flandre that needs to dip. No flash available for him. But the E does not land from Beishang, and it means that it will just be this tower taken in the top side. And look at Shanks. Shanks has been everywhere on the map. Every single play that WE makes, Shanks is there on this Ryze. We're seeing it essentially used as if it was a Twisted Fate.
Shanks definitely having a massive playoff so far, not just this game, but W as a team, look at the map, right? You see their bot lane, realize, hey, we're going to be playing towards top, we're going to move towards mid, sit safely under a mid tower, clear waves, the other three going to play up towards top side. They're just moving as a unit, Munch, and having the Ziggs, they're also able to make sure not too much is given up on the bottom side of the map. So this past few minutes of sequences from WE were just quite nice to watch.
Yeah, really great map play, and WE showing us that they are a playoff contender. And I think a lot of people, especially on that lower bracket, were saying that WE just had an easy run, right? Loads and loads of people under the belief that the teams that WE had to face on the way here were just not that great. But, you know, BLG managing to take down RNG. We've seen that RA at least were a top team within the LPL. But WE have stepped up when it comes to playoffs, and now they are proving it against EDG with a 2-0 lead. But EDG certainly not out of this one just yet, as we have a Drake coming up in 20 seconds. They got the first of the game. They are only at a 1,000 gold deficit. They've got 2 shield bows, and they have, ultimately, the Yasuo-Diana combo, which can win any fight.
Yeah, depending on the setup that you get, depending on the mistakes that come up from the enemy, if they can find a massive engage onto Shanks, onto Elk, they will be able to take it. But we're going to see a bit of a repeat of Game 1, where WE are already in River. They have control down. They have vision wards available. They can just keep throwing out poke with champions like Ziggs and not allow for EDG to walk in. They get Drake before EDG are even here, and now they should be fine. For anything to break out, though, we're keeping our eyes on Meiko. Feels like he will be the one to set it up.
Meiko has to be the one to go in. We've seen that all series long on his Leona. Now on the Rell, it's a similar story. And with the Flash Magnet Storm, you certainly can make pretty surprising moves happen. Certainly if you're getting chased down, that counter engage is terrifying on the Rell. A Scout has been very quiet so far this game. Hasn't really been a part of many of the plays, but has been just moving around the map, soaking up a lot of gold, right? We've seen him take the tier 1 in the bottom side. He's trying to take a tier 2 as well. We see him now move up towards the top side. Does feel like this Yasuo, when he gets to 2 items, will still be a massive threat.
It's definitely not down and out, right? I mean, all 3 of Diana, Yasuo, and Vayne will still scale up to be very massive damage threats. But still, I feel like we're very much at a point of a game where WE have full map control, right? We're going to see Shanks able to push out down in that bottom lane, as he already has. Going to do quite well against Flandre. Flandre not going to be able to contest without either Scout or Junja there. Breed should be able to do fine up into the top side. Won't be able to go 1v1 up against the Yasuo, but can just catch waves safely when they are neutral. And then with your 3-man core mid, because Ziggs will always control mid push, gives you an avenue to safely enter enemy jungle through that mid lane. So I feel like the problem is not, okay, well, EDG at some point will have a chance. They can look for a fight at one point. The thing is, W just have the options now to try and choke them out of not only the big neutral objectives, but of things like jungle camps, and not allow for Junja to get items in gold, and then make him easier to take down, more useless in team fights.
Yeah, it feels like the onus is on WE, right, to play correctly from this point. It's not just about whether or not... I think scaling is often kind of misrepresented in League of Legends, where it's not just about whether or not you get items. It's about how you execute those compositions and how the enemy stops you getting to that position. So onus on WE, as they are the ones in control. They've got a 2,000 gold lead as well as we head towards the 20-minute mark, which... To be fair to EDG, it's a lot better than Game 2 was. But if you think back to Game number 1, it was an exceptionally close game between these two teams. So EDG, certainly not a team worth counting out.
Keep your eyes on Junja, though.
He's on the flank. He's over onto missing here, but he can't quite move over. There's the Moonfall, the last breath. Everything from EDG. Elk already down. Meiko with a 5-man Magnet Storm as well. EDG! They're back in the series already.
And we said to keep your eyes on Meiko, but actually it was Junja the one to start things off. Finds the angle to get on the backline and set up the fight. The saddest thing for EDG is the fact that there's no Baron, there's no big prize open. You will get mid-turret, you will be able to get some gold back on the map, but for a play as massive as that one, man, you would love to have more.
Yeah, that feels like a game-winning play, but there's not much of a prize off the back of it. WE just stepped too far up. Great flank from the solo laners.
Yeah, we see Junja find his way and gets the ult down. Flandre following up with the flash as well, and Dominus. And there's that Magnet Storm that you talked about, keeping in the other members. Also did set up for the Scout ultimate in the meantime. And there's just so much AoE damage, so much AoE lockdown. The big thing for EDG, right, is if you can close the gap before they can whittle you down, that's where they can take fights. That is where they win out, but that is always a big if. Nice patience coming out from EDG to find that one, and the game is totally flipped. Now they are the ones 2k gold up. Now like you were saying, WE, the team that had to use their mid-prow, use their side lane control to go into the enemy jungle and force these things. They were the ones with onus. Now for EDG, I think it feels a bit better. You can still just keep sitting back, keep getting items on your carry, and knowing in those big 5v5s will come out ahead.
Well, WE, no slouches here. Just going to start the Baron off. They're like, all right, well, we just lost a 5v5, and EDG are available on the map and ready to contest. So, yeah, why not? Let's just start the Baron and see if they're around. Because at the end of the day, if the enemy team doesn't have vision, you can always just start that Baron, see if they contest. If they don't, you get a free Baron. If they do, well, all right, just back away.
And for WE, seems like they want to keep playing around this one. Dragon is coming up in about 30 seconds. And, I mean, WE are the ones who have wave control for this objective, right? You look at both bot and top wave. EDG do need to answer, but EDG doing a nice job of having some vision down. It seems like WE don't even want to walk down there. They want to play for the top half of the map.
Oh, Beishang knocked a little bit deep there by that blast cone, but he'll be all right in the end. Moves away. Drake up in 5 seconds, and as you say, they're not interested. Over to the Baron once more. Ward out from Meiko. It's spotted. WE back away. I think perhaps hoping EDG believed they'd gone to the Drake, but now a TP comes through from Flandre. The solo lane is on the flanks once again. Scout is here looking for his own knockup. Meiko jumps in. There's a couple of knockups. Junja in as well. Elk is the target, and he's taken down easily. And there's basically no answer here from WE, as Elk is just abandoned by his squad.
No, and now EDG, they're going to be able to turn and take that Dragon. Not having the confidence to look for something like the Baron. I mean, they know that Elk has teleport and would be able to join once he's upright, so go towards that more guaranteed objective. If you look at the minimap, they still have side waves to answer as well, so just get things in line, have confidence in your scaling. We have Scout on that 2-item point now, Vayne's on 2 items, and they pretty much feel fine to keep ping-ponging, but WE, they're gonna keep looking for it, Munch. You can't say that these guys don't have the will of... Actually, WE doesn't have an animal mascot. We'll say a lion in memory.
The will of the mojo. The will of the mojo. Missing moves into Triton Zone. Viper doing a bit of damage. EDG still aren't actually aware that it's been started at this point. It's incredibly low. It's gonna go down. WE! That is daylight robbery.
If this is the way that they take this game, that is absolutely egregious. Holy moly. WE coming in. I mean, the mojo's been transferred. They're able to do it. They keep looking for the play. For some reason, EDG already see it 2 or 3 times, and then just like, they wouldn't be rambunctious enough to go for it again. But they've never met Team WE as, hey, now Team WE do have pressure to get on push out waves, threaten some turrets, threaten some, picks. And we're going to see here of how it happened. Just no vision on the board. EDG still wanted to answer in side waves, and they just realized it when it was too late.
Whenever there is a Ryze in the game, you have to be cautious of those realm warps. And man, WE, and you said it yourself, if that is the way that they win this game of this series, I mean, EDG right now, they've got to have a strong mental game, because that's a tilter. After this game 3 has been going so well for EDG, they've had opportunities, they managed to pull their combo off. WE now with the advantage, trying to push in the bottom side, but Junja's here to answer. All 5 members of EDG are here to answer. Keep your eyes on Elk. He has to survive the combo. He cannot afford to be caught again. As Beishang moves up, looking for the engage himself here. Meiko's going to be forced. He's just going to hack splash over that wall. As the siege continues in this bottom side, and it's a bit of a shuffle around. It's a bit of a juggle when it comes to the positioning around the map, but WE managed to meander their way out of the play.
Ooh, and WE using that Realm Warp to, again, go between lanes, like try and force Prio in other ways where they wouldn't be able to, and get some damage down on this mid turret before EDG are able to rotate over. Really nice map movement coming out from WE to find the most they can get on the map, because WE still very much realize EDG are favored in fights, right? EDG, if they can find the engage, are still able to take it. So for WE, they got to play more of the style of rotating between lanes, setting up picks, and just trying to be somewhere first and leaving EDG in the dust to answer.
Sorry, go on.
I said, I'll be honest, Munch, I still favor the team that has superior 5v5s when it comes to, like, where League of Legends is at as a game right now and where LPL is at in terms of the league. So I'd still favor EDG going forward, but really nice to see clever plays coming out from WE to keep it close and keep it up in the air.
Yeah, I feel like the Ziggs and Ryze combo is kind of disgusting, actually. The fact that you can just realm warp over to a tower and then one-shot the tower with your W and just, like, zip on out again feels like you can just ignore your opponents entirely. That's the game plan now for WE. Avoid these fights. Never actually go toe-to-toe with EDG. And guess what? They've been gifted mana from the heavens here with the fact that it's a Cloud Soul. Even if EDG do manage to get the next 2 Drakes and get themselves a Soul, I mean, it doesn't really matter that much.
I do feel like this is one composition that will really benefit off of Cloud Soul, though, right? When we're talking about a team that that wants to be able to get in range and close distance to be able to take fights, a lot of that bonus movement speed is going to be able to come in handy for what EDG is looking to do.
Certainly the ult CDR will definitely help out as well, right? When your entire combo is totally ultimate reliant. Being able to do that regularly. Very nice for the side of EDG. Remember, EDG are up in gold right now. For WE, it's about playing this clever. Breathe could be in trouble in this bottom side. As you can see, everyone from EDG grouping up to move underneath this tower. This is a composition that is very good at diving towers, but in goes the bomb from Elk. Another couple of bombs would save the tower, but it's not there in time. Nicely done by EDG.
Beishang on our minimap, though, is looking for a play with Shanks onto Flandre. Flandre does have Flash and Dominance, though. I think he should be fine.
Yeah, Scout has TP as well, so that's always something to bear in mind. But Flandre just getting wrecked by Shanks there. Very nice combo. Coming out from the WE mid laner. And Beishang, all he's doing is shadowing. He doesn't even have to make a play here, as Shanks is able to just maintain that range advantage and finish the tower off. What a great answer from WE.
I mean, WE taking a page out of RNG's playbook, right? Just saying, hey, we're going to give over neutrals. We're going to look for immediate gold. We're going to look for picks and find different ways to open up the map to push into the base or find advantages. And they've been committed to it. And look at them right now. They're still up towards that top half, waiting for someone to overextend or pop their head out to potentially find a pick. Doesn't seem like they'll be able to do it, as if they wait any longer, they're going to lose so much tempo coming back out onto the map, as a lot of EDG's resets are already coming out, but still, WE being proactive, being decisive. And we know the next place we're looking at will be the Baron. It will be up shortly. For EDG, they already have bot lane push. They can push out mid, push out top, and start making their way into river, trying to bait WE into them. WE, I feel like, are going to have to group up maybe as a 4-man in mid and try and contest that push. They do have Ziggs, so they will win out and, you know, fight for that, that vision in river.
We'll see what the game plan that WE opt for is going to be, because again, we've seen plenty of shenanigans from WE, not just in this game, but across the course of this entire series. And Shanks on the rise. He's been at the heart of every single one of these creative plays, right? That realm warp has been key. And once again, for the third time in this series, Shanks is the one with the bounty. Shanks is the one with the early game kills, and Shanks is the one taking over the game. He's going to move down to the bottom lane here. You can see Breathe hovering towards that top side. It's kind of a 1-3-1 setup from W.
Ooh, want to see if he gets caught out, but both teams, right, able to play off all three lanes, having a solid split pushers. I'd say both have one winning side lane to where both Shanks or Breathe can beat out Flandre, but Scout will also beat out the other two as Jiejie finds his way on to Breathe.
Yeah, but Breathe has Mega Gnar. TP's channeled in. Scout could be caught here, but that's going to be the move 4 combo. Only on to 1 here. WE surviving the initial engagement. Shanks flashed upon by Meiko and taken down. EDG have one. Flandre moves forward to look for Elk as well. Saved by a support. Elk surviving for now. The satchel charge gets him out to safety. And in the meantime, we've got a 1v1 between Breathe and Viper. The carries from separate lanes, but carries all the same. EDG, with one pick, are confident enough to go for a Baron. This is dangerous. TPs from the solo laners of WE. In fact, it was Elk that TP'd in alongside Breathe. Beishang over the wall. He's done this once this series, but not again. He's shut down by the last breath, taken out of the equation, and EDG show their quality.
You know, the second I saw that bouncing bomb Munch, I was a bit scared. We've seen Elk do this before, but hey, Jiejie is the one on the rift now. He secures the smite, and EDG looking to bring themselves back into the series. 3K gold. They've been winning every team fight so far. I was on the same page as you. When I saw the combo come out onto what will be Shanks after this teleport, I thought, okay, maybe EDG getting a bit ahead of themselves. We see right now only being used onto Shanks. They will be able to take him down, though. And then we're going to see on the opposite side of the fight, Flandre going to be able to keep going forward, force the flash out from Viper, and also get the ult from Tahm Kench, and it feels like it really leaves W with no tools to contest.
Shanks gets himself out to safety there as the action was toying with the idea of continuing, at least towards this top side. But EDG have themselves a Baron, but EDG have themselves a gold lead, and they've also got 3 Drakes to work with. And, you know, I said earlier that the Cloud Soul was going to be completely useless, and you corrected me that actually this is a composition that can use that soul pretty well. That's going to be up in 1:30, and we've seen that WE are not really in a position to be able to just win a 5v5 against EDG. And right now, it's starting to feel like maybe EDG have found the answer to the conundrum that is WE.
Yeah, EDG doing a nice job of just stacking all this dive, stacking all this engage, making sure that Elk feels pressure like he hasn't felt in the previous 2 games, doing a nice job of rotating, syncing up those waves. First top wave hits, they take that turret, another wave is coming in from mid, and now 1 minute until Drake. They answer down in bottom side, have Scout push out that wave, get the Scuttle Crab, get some wards down in the enemy jungle, have resets come out, and then they will be primed to take this next Drake and potentially set up another 1-3-1, allow Scout to, you know, play out through that side lane, have Jiejie there with him, and then just keep rotating between those 2 lanes to try to find picks to open the base.
And we've got to quickly touch on the items coming out across the board, because we talked about the scaling on the side of EDG, right? We talked about the fact that all of these picks are going to do well in the late game. Well, Viper has 4 items on that Vayne on top of his boots. We've got 3 items on Scout on the Yasuo. Certainly reached the point of scaling. Beishang is getting a little bit creative here, hovering on the top side. Shanks is there as well. Pings on towards that inhibitor. I think that was from Scout. I think he's moving on over to try and defend on the top side as Drake is up in 8 seconds, and EDG would love to go for that soul themselves. WE trying to maintain this creative play that we've seen from them across the course of this game. But the whole of EDG is recalled to defend the top side, and the rest of the squad will finish the Drake. Beautifully done here by EDG to not allow anything from WE, but Flandre, you got to be careful here. He's going to face check in. He's going to get caught out. He's going to get rooted up. The damage is not there to answer the play. Slice and dice out, and actually the rest of his team is moving up. The Rell warp is denied. The stun out from Flandre, and WE, they try and make the pick, but it's only picked themselves apart. Now onto Shanks to go. Scout gets Beishang. It's 1 for Viper and 1 for Flandre as well. 1 for each of the carries as EDG thwart WE's attempt.
And now with so many members down, EDG should be able to just push down these lanes, get some inhibitor turrets down, maybe get some inhibitors, and make it easier to where maybe after 1 more fight, they will be able to take the game. We do have about a 40-second dead time on Shanks, 35. Don't think they'll actually be able to do anything much. I was trying to theorize and get excited, but at the very least, right, inhibitors should be going down.
Yeah, now they are against the Ziggs, so that does make it a little bit more difficult, but should still be able to finish a couple of these towers off, because to be honest, they'll be quite happy to tank, and hey, they got a Yasuo. Just wind wall away the wave clear, and there's nothing Ziggs can do about it. Down go the inhibs, and EDG are back in this series. They've all but finished things off, but they are going to have to back away, at least for the time being. They don't want to overstay. They don't want to overstep. Remember the stakes here. They lose 1 more game, they're out of this one. So play it safe. Don't throw.
I also just love the way that EDG played the map over the past, like, 2 minutes, right? Not sure if we'll get a replay or not. Oh, we do get a replay, but even coming into this, right, EDG had the vision to know that WE weren't committing to bot side. They were going to be on the top half of the map. And you look where the other members of EDG are. They're already in topside river trying to counter the play that they know WE are making. So playing a bit of mind games with WE, they're going to send Flandre out first, potentially bait out a pick, and then bring all the other members in. The Realm Warp was canceled as you highlighted, and then EDG just able to easily finish up the skirmish. So a lot of good setup coming from EDG there, going all the way back to the vision they were able to get in the enemy bot side jungle from, you know, about 2 minutes ago.
Exceptionally well played here by EDG. And I'm getting excited here, Lyric, because we might actually have a bit of a series on our hands. And I'm very happy to say that, because EDG didn't look good in game number 2, but breathe. In trouble, he'll walk away. Jiejie blasting that ult out. They do have 3 Cloud Drakes, though, so those ult cooldowns are going to be exceptionally short at this point in the game. WE trying to answer on the opposite side of the map here. Will actually get themselves a tier 2 tower. And the pings on towards the Baron from EDG. Flandre playing weak side once more. Needs to just survive here to stop WE answering what EDG want to do.
And I mean, this is a game where, again, EDG are squarely in the driver's seat. Definitely feels like they should and probably will win this game. But I just want to highlight again, the decision-making coming up from WE is really nice to try and answer and realize that they can't contest EDG. But still, even if you are making right decisions with the cards you're dealt, that still doesn't always even out into something like a win, because EDG have this more, I'd say, simplistic comp, right? Group up is 5, you hit the ultimates, you go in, very, very stock and standard. They've been executing it well, and feels like they're on track to be able to pick up this game, as you brought out the famous caster catchphrase of, we might have a series on our hands.
Well, my hands, they've got series all over them at this point. I've got series falling out of my pockets. We are going to see EDG group up towards the bottom side, and you hope. I mean, look, we're getting to the point now where they are far enough ahead. They have all of the control. They have the comp. Surely they can finish this one out. I'm scared for what remains of EDG if they don't manage to finish this game out. Pushing with the Baron now in this bottom side. Inhib still down for another 2 minutes here. This would be a third if they could just finish this tower off. WE desperately trying to defend. The engage comes through. Flash away from the Magnet Storm, though. That's a lot used already. Inhib will fall here from EDG. They've got to play the slow game here. Use the Baron. Use the supers that are going to be pouring into this space. Elk has to do everything he can to try and clear these minions, but the Baron buff does such a good job of mitigating what Ziggs can bring to the table. Shanks' wave player ain't too shabby himself, though. As WE continue to try and defend, Flandre goes in. Breathe this behind everyone with the TP. In they go with the Gnar. It's 3-man. It doesn't get the stun, though. Magnet Storm comes out to answer. The moonfall goes wide from Jiejie. Elk still going strong on the back line, but it's 1 kill already. Make it 2. We'll have a third on top of that one, please. As EDG, they manage to finish the game off. It looked dicey at points, but that doesn't matter. What matters is the win, the TPs, the summoners, the fountain dive. This is a happy moment for EDG in the series.
It feels like EDG just have to go against expectation, because the second we give up on EDG, they pull a win out. You believe in them, they go down. You don't believe, they bring it back. So everyone, EDG's fate is in your hands. The amount of belief you have could be detrimental, or it can be massive. Decide where you stand. And yeah, EDG picking up a great win.
Yep, no, I think you've nailed it there. The more you at home believe in EDG, the more likely WE is to win this series. So if you love EDG, just pretend you don't for a little bit, all right? Jiejie topping the damage at the end of that one. Not too surprising considering the combo that they were bringing to the table.
It's still just a crazy but great story, right? Literally gets subbed in for 1 game this split. If you have not followed LPL, Jiejie has played 1 game. Only one, not a whole series, a game. It was a loss against Team WE themselves. Comes in this series again, probably to save them from that 4-letter T word that we won't mention. Comes out, great performance, sticks to his guns. Jiejie, I don't know what it is, some kind of like gravitational magnet pulling him towards the top half of the map. He'll always play up there, and then just looking really good on this Diana to find a lot of these engages. So Viper, after some not getting to play League of Legends games, that sentence could have been structured better, finally got to play some League of Legends, and EDG win much. They win. I'm hyped. You're hyped. We're all hyped.
We get a series. We actually get a best of 5 here. And I cannot believe how this is panned out. I mean, you've said it yourself, like, it would be difficult to write this, right? The fact that subbing in Jiejie is the way that EDG gets their first playoffs win after going 2-0 down against WE. If you told someone that a couple of weeks ago, they'd tell you that you are mental. I cannot believe how this series is panned out, but I'm here for it. I'm excited, and hey, maybe we get a little bit of clear love action in the playoffs. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, if they're bringing Jiejie in, anything is possible, okay? No, I think Jiejie has earned himself a second game, to say the very least. Well, we're going to at least 4 here, Lyric. This is an exciting series now. This is now going to be WE tested. They already went to 5 games against RA. EDG looking to push them to 5 as well, if they can. But they've got another 2 games to win just yet. We'll see if that's going to be able to happen. We're going to jump into a break, and we'll see if EDG can keep this ball rolling.